Tekken 8 was a game, and still is a game, that I'm really excited to see the future of. But how the game has released, and how we've led up to the release so far with the 3 DLCs, there's a lot of problems that's going on here. Hey guys, Avrix here, and here's a different style of video that I've been wanting to do for a hot minute, where I don't actually have any sort of script and really just kind of talk about my opinions on what's going on right now in Tekken, and give you guys a little bit of my thoughts on what's happening. Keep in mind that everything that I talk about here is my own opinions, and I'm not going to be trying to prove my opinions to you, show you what's happening with Tekken, or list the reasons as to what can be fixed, because quite frankly, I don't have the time or really care to go through the fix for it, because realistically, at the end of the day, TLDR, I know that the Tekken team is going to fix Tekken. I know that it's going to get better, but for the time being, when it's not as good as it could be, and the game is sitting at like a really low score on Steam, it's at least got me questioning what the hell's going on with Tekken 8. And I believe there are a lot of problems to this. I don't think that there's just one problem to this, but there are a couple of problems that I do genuinely believe are impacting the game negatively that some people might not really realize, and I kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit today and vent my frustrations and give you guys an understanding of really, I guess, kind of what's going on in my head, and so I can hopefully also get some opinions as well for you guys, because this is not really just a listen to me talk, this is more of an open discussion kind of thing. I want you guys to comment down below and let me know what you think about Tekken and how it's at. Is there anything that you want changed specifically? Any characters you want added? Go ahead and let me know down below in the comments, I'd love to hear. But I've already talked a little bit, so let's go ahead and get into one of the biggest reasons as to why a lot of people are upset. So this is actually very, very, very interesting here, because it seems that Steam has already been aware that the game is suffering from review bombing, because I actually recorded this audio technically on the October 14th, Monday, but I didn't like how the audio came out. I was complaining, I think, a little too much, so I wanted to re-record it, and I'm now re-recording it right now on Tuesday, October 15th, and the reviews have actually changed and has a little asterisk beside it. But TLDR, this game has been getting review bombed really badly. And if we go down to the reviews real quick for a second, there's a couple of reasons as to why. We see people say it's, now tainted with shady monetization practices, questionable casino gameplay mechanics, nonsensical character balancing, and each DLC is guaranteed to be so overpowered at launch, it's near pay to win. So we've got a lot of comments about this. Scamco, we got, this game has potential, but the Tekken team is too busy implementing greedy, predatory monetization practice on a full-priced game instead of focusing on content. Unknown characters on Season Pass, stages, microtransactions, costumes, battle passes, the game doesn't run the best either. So a lot of people are obviously very upset about the game, but there's a couple of things that I do kind of want to talk about as to, obviously, why Steam thinks this game is being review bombed. If we go back up to this one, and again, do not target this person, don't get upset at this person, if you're watching this video, this is not meant to be a harassment or targeted thing, I'm not upset at you, everybody has their own opinions, but in my opinion, a lot of what is being said, especially in this one specifically, is just incorrect. Nonsensical character balancing makes sense, but I have my own kind of opinions on why I think it's nonsensical. And each DLC character is guaranteed to be so overpowered at launch it's near pay to win. I don't know about you guys, but I would not consider Lydia or Eddie to be anywhere near so overpowered at launch that's considered pay to win. And Heihachi surely is definitely really good, but is extremely difficult, and again, doesn't feel pay to win. So I don't think that this is correct to say that every DLC character is a pay to win so far. I just don't think that's true. Questionable casino gameplay mechanics. I don't really know what that means. I don't know if that's a mention to the 50-50 and it feels like you're gambling every time because the aggression. I don't know if this is monetization. I don't really know. And I think I'm getting a little bit off track here because that's not really important. What's important is people are upset and they're venting their frustrations. But people are upset at more or less a couple of the same things, and then what I've noticed kind of look for another reason to get upset. Now, not saying that anybody's feelings isn't justified. You can feel however you want, but as we just saw in this example that I just showed you, I don't really think that some of the things that people are saying is exactly true, and it seems that it's more emotionally driven because they're upset at the state of the game. So let's take a look and talk about the state of the game and see why are people so upset and why are we even here in the first place. I think single-handedly the one thing that really set this off is this right here. The stage. But they charged $5 for this, and people are not happy. 13% is positive, and I can't even imagine what it could be. It's great to buy standard version of the game, then wait for DLC to release rather than jumping to Deluxe Ultimate Edition during day one. So the very first top 10 should be $10, 10 out of 10. So one of them is most likely sarcasm, and the other one is saying, man, I'm glad I'm not this stupid idiot that bought the Deluxe Edition like every single other person who's complaining about it. Which leads me to the exact problem here. The map wasn't given to people who had bought the Ultimate Edition. And Harada had stated, he had said something along the lines of, we had stated before that the summer stage that came out with Lydia was something to do with like some like free update that they had with like a couple of the other customizations and stuff, and wasn't actually considered the character stage. But because this is a character style stage and this is Heihachi's new home or whatever the hell it is in the story, this is why they're charging money for it. Which, whatever the reason may be, it doesn't matter. It's still a stage, right? At the end of the day, it's still a product. It doesn't matter if it was for a story part or if it was anything. It doesn't matter. It's still a stage, and just like the beach stage, you still gave it to everybody for free. So it doesn't matter if you stayed it early on. Well, I mean, we saw this before. If you've ever played Helldivers 2 before, there were a lot of people very, as soon as Helldivers 2 released, you had to sign up for PlayStation Plus, or their PlayStation, whatever, their PlayStation account. But it was temporarily disabled because the servers were crashing because it was having a bunch of players who were getting onto the game, so they temporarily disabled and said they were going to bring it back later. Well, they brought it back later, and it infuriated people. The game got review bombed. People got really upset. Even though you explicitly state something does not mean the community is not going to get really upset when you stray away from what they have at least seen. They're not listening to you. Not every single player who's playing Tekken or who is playing Helldivers has Twitter open and is paying attention to what either of the companies are saying. Most people are just playing the game. You know, you have your diehard fans and stuff like that who expected these kinds of things, but I mean, even me who follows Harada and will even try and like read Japanese tweets from him and stuff like that because, oh, I'm learning Japanese if you didn't know. But I follow the stuff very regularly, and there was even a moment where I was like, oh my god, yeah, I completely forgot that he said that. I mean, I guess he did say that, and I do remember reading it, but, you know, it completely crossed my mind, and I actively follow the Tekken scene and follow him and look at the tweets that everybody is making. So if somebody like me is getting mistaken by it as well, I can only imagine anybody who is not on Twitter or is not following Tekken or who is not following Harada. I could imagine that they would be very upset if they had just been playing the game and only watching the tournaments, and they see that they got their very first stage for completely free, and then all of a sudden now they have to pay $5. And $5 isn't a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, when it was, you know, back in the day, back in my day, in Black Ops 2, when you would get like, what was it, like a map pack with like 4 maps and like a zombies map for like $5? Things have changed. I understand. I get it. But what I'm trying to say is most people are not going to pay $5, a snack that you could get at the vending machine, a snack and a drink that you could get at the gas station on your way to work. People are not going to pay that amount for a stage on a video game that is already, as what a lot of people have said, not doing very good and has not had a lot of content releasing. Everything's not all horrible, though, and the story does actually technically have a good ending because Harada and the Tekken team actually came out and apologized and is going to be fixing the mistake. They're going to be giving away a couple of free Tekken coins, which I think should be enough to be able to get, like, a battle pass, and if it doesn't, at least minimum, you can get, like, a costume pack or something, which is pretty cool. And on top of that, they guarantee that the final stage for the Winter DLC will be free, even though it planned to be a paid DLC as an apology, and they're going to be planning to work even better coming into year 2 on how they can listen to the community more and listen to our feedback and not obviously piss us off. So I wanted to throw this in at the very end to let everybody know who doesn't know. This story does have a happy ending. The Tekken team is aware that they screwed up. They admitted that they screwed up, and they're going to be fixing it. We're not going to be getting this stage for free, unfortunately, but I didn't think that that was going to be happening. So the fact that we're getting this next stage for free, and they're even considering on reworking how we'll be getting stages from this point on in content in general, I think that's a huge win, and it's obvious that the developers do really care about this game and want to see it succeed. So if anything gives you hope, at least look at this as a hopeful situation. But that's kind of my thoughts on the whole situation. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, and let me know what else kind of videos you guys want to see. Do you like these types of videos where I kind of just sit here and talk? Because this actually technically wasn't scripted, and this has all just been me literally sitting here just talking to you guys, kind of talking about my opinions and what I think about this stuff. So let me know down below if you want to hear more about this kind of stuff, and let me know your opinions as well. I'd love to hear them. But until then, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate the support as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.